And for this next fight, we got two guys that look solid. It looks like they have a good skill set, but still kind of trying to suss them out and see exactly how good they are. Timmy Cuamba, 0-2 in the UFC so far, so he's a little bit in the danger zone, but trains at Extreme Couture, and you look at the way he fights, he has some good qualities. He has good timing on the feet, good lateral movement. He has fast 1-2s, and you could definitely see he doesn't have the best power, but his hands are fast. Even though he doesn't throw a ton of long combinations, he can sting you with the straight shots. He is a little small. It seems like he doesn't like getting in exchanges, so he tends to move quite a bit, and he's a little low volume. His last fight, he was mixing in kicks a little bit more, and he does have a nice head kick knockout on the regional scene. You'll throw some nice body kicks, kind of try to get you thinking low and then set you up with the head kick. But if you keep him on the back foot, he's really kind of only going to look to land counter 1-2s. And sometimes he'll try to shoot the double leg on you, but I feel like putting pressure on him is the way to go. And he's never been finished with strikes before, but I don't think he's necessarily like super tough. Like, if you start to get to him, he'll go into a defensive shell and kind of just acquiesce the loss and go to decision. But he has a good double, like I said. If you overextend or you kind of get out of position, he can level change on you, get to the ground. And I think his game plan is going to be pretty obvious here. I think he's going to try to stick and move with the straights. I think he's going to try to avoid staying in front of Romero and then mix in some takedowns. It looks like he lacks a little bit of physicality for this weight division. Even when he can get takedowns, he hasn't really been able to hold guys down. But I will say he showed some good heart versus Lucas Almeida. He got beat up for the first 2 rounds, but got a late takedown in the third. He got some solid ground and pound off to end the fight. And you could tell he has good cardio because he'll get rocked and he recovers quickly. But I'm not necessarily quite sold on him overall, to be honest with you. And when you look at Roberto Romero, Timo Yama product, he came in on short notice versus David Onama and gave him a scare. He dropped him in the first round, but ended up losing that fight. And now back for the second fight in the UFC for him and looking to beat an opponent that's a little bit more favorable, closer to his experience level in his second UFC fight. And you look at Romero, it seems like he's getting better really quickly, because when I first started watching a few of his fights a couple years ago, he was more of a volume guy, and he was using his jab to go to the body. He was throwing a lot of kicks, but his last fight, his hands looked a lot better, and he even dropped Onama with some hooks in the first round. He was throwing some really nice combinations. He was mixing his kicks in well. His calf kicks were looking really good, and I think they could be effective here versus Cuamba. And Romero's pretty fast, and when he's moving forward, he's good at slipping off the center line, counter strikes, clinching you up. Kind of a marauder, come forward style fighter. He isn't great fighting going backwards, though, and I do think he kind of slows down a little bit. But now that he's had some time to prepare, he's a UFC fighter, I think that he's going to be in better shape in this one, more than likely. And I think his stand-up looked way better his last fight, so you can only expect him to be leveled up once again for this Saturday. And he isn't a wrestler, but he will cage push you. And when he can get fighters to the ground, his grappling is on point and aggressive. I have seen him get tired in previous fights, and when that happens, he kind of can become hittable coming forward. And even when he's tired, he will continue to pressure, but he will start to absorb damage. But I think that if he can get a knockdown or get on top on here, he does have a chance to submit Cuamba. Both these fighters are young. They could show strides. I think Cuamba has a chance to maybe catch Romero with 1-2s at the start of the rounds, maybe hurt him. And if he can sneak the first round, there's a chance he could beat Romero as he slows down in the third or something, or maybe hurt him and coast to a victory after that. But I see Romero kind of going to work with the leg kicks, and I think that he's going to work all parts of the body. I think he's going to come forward. He's the bigger, more physical fighter. conditioning wise, I think that Romero's going to have an edge because he was getting ready to fight April 12th. His opponent withdrew, so he's had a couple months to get ready for a fight, whereas Cuamba didn't have anything scheduled, I don't believe. So he's coming in here on about 2 weeks' notice. I think Romero wins the decision here. He could get a finish in round 1, and I could see him getting a submission, but I'm going to say if he can't get Cuamba out of there early, it's probably going to go all 15 minutes. But regardless, I think Roberto Romero is going to come out victorious in that fight.